When will Game of Thrones Season 8 be released? The next, an eighth, season of Game of Thrones will not be airing until 2019. According to HBO, Season 8 will be out next year, but fans are still waiting for a solid date for the show to return as the company remains tight-lipped about the schedule. Filming is starting to come to a close now after nearly 18 months. Season 8 may have the least amount of episodes, but it's had the longest shooting schedule. There has been a lot of activity around the King's Landing set, which appears to have sustained some damage, hinting at a huge attack. Reports of an April 2019 release date came after purported quotes from Arya Stark actress Maisie Williams suggested a spring release date next year. The actress, who plays the younger brother of Jon Snow, reportedly told Metro, "We air our first episode in April. That's a 4-month turnaround for these huge episodes. There's a lot that goes into the final edit," she added in the interview. "You would not want to rush this season at all. We owe it to our audience and our fans to really do this final season to the best of our abilities." However, Williams, 20, has now taken to social media to speak out about the remarks, telling her 1.95 million Twitter followers, "Just a tweet letting you know this Game of Thrones release date, quote, I've supposedly given is completely false and taken from an interview I did years ago. Will the Game of Thrones Season 8 release date be brought forward?" HBO announced that Game of Thrones Season 8 would hit screens in 2019, but without giving a particular date. The American network confirmed in a press release that the last run wouldn't be aired for over a year. Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner previously said that a 2019 release date was most likely to be on the cards. This delay is due to the filming schedule, with program makers wanting to take their time on Season 8, but also due to more wintry conditions. The final run will feature a total of 6 episodes with varying episode lengths. Season 7 aired on Sunday, July 16, 2017 in the US, and in the early hours of the following day in the UK. Traditionally, Game of Thrones has premiered in April, but Season 7 was pushed back so that filming could take place in the gloomier months. Now that winter is here, Season 7 was shorter than usual with only 6 episodes. However, producers have taken the same amount of time as they would to film a 10-episode run due to the grand nature of the new installments. How many episodes will there be in Game of Thrones Season 8? Showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss have confirmed Game of Thrones will wrap with a truncated final season. Benioff said, "It's only going to be 6 episodes. From the beginning we've wanted to tell a 70-hour movie. It will turn out to be a 73-hour movie, but it's stayed relatively the same of having the beginning, middle and now we're coming to the end. It would have been really tough if we lost any core cast members along the way. I'm very happy we've kept everyone and we get to finish it the way we want to." The Hollywood Reporter said the first episode will be written by Dave Hill, the second episode will be penned by Brian Cogman, and showrunners Benioff and Weiss will write the remaining 4 episodes. In a break from tradition, George R.R. Martin will not be scripting an episode this season. Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss have all 6 episodes mapped out and are working in tandem with the production team to determine a schedule that makes sense for the sweeping fantasy drama and its sprawling cast. The Hollywood Reporter wrote, "Although the season will be shorter in length, it has been rumored that each episode will run for at least 80 minutes, wrapping up the story with a series of feature-length installments." Game of Thrones Season 8 cast. How will Game of Thrones end? Who will win the war? Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage, who plays Tyrion Lannister, said that fans could expect a bittersweet close to the show. Speaking to Variety, he said, "It's the perfect time to end it. Sometimes shows stay on a little too long. The jumping the shark thing." The actor went on to say, "It's the final season, and it's a long one, so we're taking our time." Since season 6, Game of Thrones has moved past George R.R. Martin's novels and into uncharted territory. But that hasn't stopped fans from speculating as to how the story will end. The Season 7 trailer hinted at the Great War, thought to be the prophesied battle between the Westerosi and the White Walkers. Some believe that the war will begin when the wall is brought down, possibly because of Bran, the three-eyed raven. Game of Thrones Season 8 director's Bran's ancestor and namesake. Bran the Builder, founder of House Stark, created the wall thousands of years ago to keep the White Walkers at bay. Could his descendant, who now has the Night King's mark, be the one to destroy his work? Once the war begins, many believe that it will boil down to a climactic battle fought by Daenerys and her dragons against the White Walkers, a battle of ice and fire. A controversial theory is that the White Walkers will turn out not to be the villains they have been painted as and will ultimately win the Great War. The prologue to the first book in the series, A Game of Thrones, revealed that the White Walkers, here known as the Others, are sentient beings. Some say that this is proof that they are not evil. George R.R. Martin has said that the overall flavor of his ending is going to be as much bittersweet as it is happy. However, the last few seasons have diverted from the novels, and could feature a completely different climax. Game of Thrones Season 8 script leaks. There are also suggestions that the Starks will come under attack, with photos emerging of the Winterfell set in Moneyglass, Northern Ireland in flames. The images have been circulated heavily on social media and suggest that Winterfell could be set to fall in the final season when it comes under attack. There's been theories that the ancestral home of the House Stark could come under threat from either the White Walkers and also Cersei Lannister's own forces in her misguided attempts to cling to the Iron Throne. While it's not known exactly what will happen in Season 8, Winterfell is going to be having a big role in the forthcoming run. Other images have shown Harguntin filming with Lena Headey, who plays Cersei Lannister, in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which stands in for Westeros capital King's Landing. If the White Walkers are to be defeated, the most popular theory is that Jon Snow will be the one to lead the battle. It is said that Jon will be revealed as Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, and will unite with Daenerys. According to legend, Azor Ahai plunged steel into his wife's chest to create a sword of living fire named Lightbringer, which defeated the White Walkers thousands of years ago. It has been prophesied that Azor Ahai will be reborn to lead the war, and many believe that Jon will be forced to sacrifice Daenerys to create a new Lightbringer. What is the Great War? Who is Azor Ahai? Who will win the Game of Thrones? It seems almost certain that Cersei will die before the series is over, leaving the Iron Throne vacant. But who will be the one holding the sword? There have been some theories that it could be Jaime Lannister, but others have now hinted that Euron Greyjoy, Pillar Aspak, will be the one to do it. Even Lena Headey, who plays the Queen, has said that Cersei's reign is a moment of punctuation in the madness that doesn't stand a chance in hell of lasting. On top of that, Cersei could become the Night Queen after the leader of the undead will take pity on her after her death and resurrect her. But will Jon, Daenerys or someone else rule over the Seven Kingdoms when all is said and done? Daenerys is the daughter of the Mad King Aerys, so has a strong claim to the throne. But according to the RL=J theory, Jon is the Song of Daenerys' older brother Rhaegar, which would make him the rightful heir. Game of Thrones Season 8 locations. There have been suggestions that Daenerys will lose the throne to Jon, with one Reddit user saying the amount of screen time of the characters is an indication. Some think that Jon and Daenerys, whose family is known to practice incestuous marriage, could marry and rule together if they both survive the war. On top of that, Harrington was seen shooting scenes for Season 8 in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which stands in for the fictional King's Landing and the capital of the Seven Kingdoms. Others have suggested that it will be revealed that Tyrion Lannister is actually a Targaryen, with some suggesting that the Mad King raped his mother Joanna. There have been other hints that Tyrion could be part of House Targaryen after he saw seen stroking one of Daenerys' dragons and not flinching from it. But what about the final ever scene? Fans think that they have spotted a major clue in the Season 6 finale. The episode saw Samwell Tarly arrive at the Citadel Library, which featured an astrolabe which looks just like the one seen in each episode's opening credits. John Bradley, who plays Samwell, believes that the similarity might hint at how the series will end. One theory is that what we're seeing now and how we're experiencing Game of Thrones is Sam telling the story of Game of Thrones. He told The Hollywood Reporter, "If you take the logic of the story now, the story of Westeros and the story of the battle for the Iron Throne, it would be a book in that library." Game of Thrones Season 8 will air in 2019.